Now we're going to cut this seat. Okay, you go with a nice even pressure. Make a couple of rounds. You want to know what you are working with. I made about 4 rounds. So remove the cutter head and look at the seat. Look at the seat all the way around, and you're not going to be able. I'm going to take this out. Okay. Now I made 4 light rounds there, and from right here to right there is a place that did not cut. That's the misalignment. It's not it's I don't know what to call that. To explain that gets me above my learning. Put this back on the don't want to get me above my learning. Put this back on the in there. Make sure it's good and tight with no wobble, and you can feel that when you put that down in there. You can feel that, and I do have that area right there. It's not very much. It's very little bit that did not make contact. So you put this back on here and make a couple more rounds, just with a medium pressure downward. You don't want to force this. Medium pressure downward and a controlled turn, and you can feel it cut. This is it's to the touch. Okay, what I made 3 turns. Let's look at it again. Okay, immediately I can see that the area that was in question, about half of it's gone now. So there is a little bit left. So I'm going to make let's make a couple more turns. Okay, observe. It's almost gone now, and if I can describe this to you, it's almost completely gone. I do see just a little evidence of discoloration, so I'm going to let's make a couple more turns. Do not drop this down on the seat right there. You will harm your cutter blades. This is a single. Be paying attention to what you're doing. You get carried away talking, you'll cut too much. Okay, now at this point, I'm finished with that one. That's enough. There's no need to cut any more material away. I have bright metal completely around that seat. That's good to go. Let's cut the other one. Use a controlled cut at all times. Okay, you see how quick that was. We made like 5 revolutions, maybe 6, and looking at that right there, it's actually good enough to go right now. And what I'm doing is looking at the shadow line as it goes around there. When I look at the shadow, when I see that go around yonder, that's what I'm looking at. And I do see right there is just ever such a little bit. I'm not happy with it, so I'm going to go back and make a couple turns. No need to stop short. And most of the time, you can actually feel when you reach that point where you're cutting 100% seat all the way around, when it's kind of making 100% contact, you actually can feel that in the cutter head, in the handle. Now look at it again. Oh, that's good there. We can quit now. No chatter marks. then that would be, you could call that finished. Let's do something else just for a show and tell. Put this back in there and cut a different angle. And I do this here in the shop, and I cut a lot of valve seats. This is pretty much at least a weekly occurrence that I'll cut some seats in something. This just happens to be an International Model M, but this same procedure covers almost all of these type engines. Just size and where the valve seat's located at. Like in a Fairbanks Morse, it'll be down in a pocket, so you just get down in there and deal with it. To open this up, to put this back in here, okay, see, I can see that seat is going to be about halfway on that valve, and that's another thing too. Let me stop right here. I made these valves first. Normally you would not make the valve before this procedure right here. The valve making should come after you have put the guides in and after you have cut the seat. So, and the reason you do that is so that you can measure how big you need your valve head to be, because when you cut this, that hole gets bigger. If you was using an old original valve and you turn the new seat here, then the valve gets smaller and you'll end up with a valve that's too small for the hole. So if you do it valve guides first, then cut the seat, then you can make the measurement and then make an oversized valve. And there is no standard to that. Just make whatever size valve you need to fit that hole. I just knew that these were I got 3 heads that looked like they had never been reseated. So I knew that the original size head, and I did allow a few thousandths, would suffice. So, and it does. It's proved out to be. Okay, to clean that up right there, you can run a different angle. Let's say what is that right there? That's a 15 degree. Put that 15 degree on there, and the same rule applies. It's about halfway of where I want to cut the seat. And I'll show you something. Watch this. Just leave a comment. Make a few turns, not many, just enough. Okay, you see what I did there? Are you paying attention? See, what I did, I actually cut a different angle and gnarred the seat. So if you was to get technical about it, this would be a 2-angle valve job at this point in time. I think that needs just a little bit more. I'm going to go a couple more. It didn't clean up right over there like I would like for it to. So I'm going to go just a couple more. See, that feels real good now. Also, when you do this, it will actually clean up the little right here. You have the surface of this head when it was made at the factory is kind of rough right there. So if you add that other angle, it cleans up. That's the exhaust. It actually cleans up that. Let's do this one too. So if I was describing this, I'd say it's got a 2-angle valve job. Up to this point. And I'm watching, I am observing the seat width. You do not want to gnar the seat too much. And you can see this one right down here is a good example. It's actually wider. The top angle is wider here than it is down here. I do have bare metal all the way around, and I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to take no more because I have. I'm at the 16th measurement there on the seat that I want. So I'm going to leave this head as is. I'm going to call that finished. No more. But I will tell you something. If you wanted to do the 3 angle, you would put this back in here, and then you would take this cutter head here and put it down in yonder. And I didn't let it bottom out. I don't want to be foolish. I got a good seat there. But you would take the real steep angle and put it down in yonder. That happens to be a 15 degree, and put it down in there, and it would cut the bottom. It would cut the bottom angle away. That's all they are to cutting valve seats. And there is a question about. There's a question about a compound, valve compound. And if you cut a good seat and you cut a good valve, then I don't like to compound I don't like to seat a valve. There's just no reason to do it. And even when you're seating a valve, do not rotate the valve all the way around. Like we're going to do it, but let's just touch on it here. Do not turn the valve a full turn. It goes in an oscillating motion. If you turn it in a full turn right there, there's some physics. Well, no, that's not the word. There's whatever the word is. Look it up. Just there is no. It's just mechanical. You only want to oscillate, grinding, seating, any kind of seat, cone seat. You do not turn a full turn. You only oscillate. We're going to do that later on, but I just wanted to, while we're talking about this, that's this. Now I'm going to go to the valve grinder and cut a face on here just for a show and tell. From here on the East Coast of Arkansas, Shop Dog Sam.